Guys, Arbitrum ecosystem update. We're back. Apologies for the hiatus. I was on vacation in Brazil, but we're back and we're jumping into crypto, Arbitrum, all that stuff, full force with this latest ecosystem update. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice, and everything I say is my opinion alone. Just a quick note, I'll be touching on a couple of things that's happened over the last 7, 8, 9 days since I've been gone, just because I missed some of this stuff, obviously on any videos I would have uploaded. So if you've seen some of this news already that I'm covering, I apologize. Okay, God forbid you got to sit down and watch it for another couple minutes. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of try to hit like some of the high level stuff. So there's not a ton of things I'm going over, but a little bit more than usual. So without further ado, let's jump into it. We have the here we go. Tweet by Castle Cap. They say that the Arbitrum long-term incentive program pilot, or I think it's pilot program actually, has officially started. This pilot program will distribute up to 45 million ARB to protocols to spur growth within the Arbitrum ecosystem. I'm going to go ahead and skip down here. The application period opened on the 19th of February, which was about 5 days ago from today. Projects will have 2 weeks to apply, which means that if you are a project and you want to see if you can receive ARB as an incentive for your protocol, you have until March 3rd, 11:59 p.m. EST to apply. And I'm actually going to go ahead and skip the rest of this stuff since it is a lot to read. But yeah, this is some pretty exciting stuff. Excuse the train, sorry. This is some pretty exciting stuff. For those of you who don't know, there was the short-term incentive program that happened a couple months ago now, back in October of last year. Which actually distributed, I think, a lot more ARB than this did. But the difference is that this is kind of short-term incentive proposal, or program, I should say, was kind of just like, guys, it's like the community saying, guys, we need to release some of this funding for protocols that desperately need it in an environment that's constantly, how should I say, kind of competing for attention and projects to deploy. So this is essentially kind of using some of the learnings from STIP, since there was a good amount of things that happened within STIP that people didn't really like. So this is kind of applying some of those learnings and seeing if essentially they can redo STIP, but in a way that's is more scalable. And my assumption is that if this passes, that there will be a proper long-term incentive program that is going to distribute a lot more than 45 million ARB, and at that point, a lot more than the initial 75 million ARB that the short-term incentive program initially did. That being said, again, if you're a project on Arbitrum and you're looking for incentives for your protocol, assuming this is mainly for DeFi projects, make sure you apply. I'll leave the link, of course, as usual, in the description. We have a tweet here by Arbitrum. Arbitrum is heading back to ETHDenver. We're excited to bring the community together again to connect, share ideas, build, and enjoy some delicious Arby burgers at Shake Shack from Friday, February 23rd to Sunday, March 3rd. From the booth, find the booth location and the list of Arbitrum events happening throughout the week. So there's a couple things happening in Denver that is going to be Arbitrum related. They have the Shake Shack takeover, which I'm not sure if they actually have the day here for. Let me just. Oh, here we go. Will be March 1st from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I will be there as well, by the way, eating burgers and drinking shakes. There's going to be Arbitrum GovHack. Let me see if they have a tweet here. From February 26th to 28th. So kind of going to be a mix of a governance bootcamp and a community open day. So if you're already within the DAO and you're interested in kind of collaborating with people, the 26th to the 28th is going to be your day. But if you're interested in just networking with the broader Arbitrum ecosystem, looks like the 29th is going to be the best day for you to join. And I think it's just those 3 days. Yeah. There's also, I already said those two. And there's also ETHDenver's technically Biddle-thon. That's technically, I think, the latter half of the ETHDenver conference, which I think has already started. So I think the Biddle-thon actually is going on right now. So from the 23rd of February to the 28th. I think I'll actually be at this too. I'll be actually at most of this stuff, to be honest, besides probably the GovHack days. I'll also be at the actual conference itself from the 29th to the 3rd, most likely hanging around the Arbitrum booth. So yes, I'm going to Denver. I'm literally leaving tomorrow, like a day or two after I've come back from vacation. So the traveling does not stop. But definitely, if you're interested in kind of speaking with me or anyone at Offchain Labs, anyone within the Arbitrum community, make sure that you're at any of these events. I'll probably be showing up, like I said, to almost all of them, besides that governance bootcamp one, since I don't partake in governance. We have another tweet here by Open Zeppelin. Oh, this is a really exciting one. I like this. Introducing Arbitrum Stylus x Open Zeppelin. We're thrilled to announce the expansion of Open Zeppelin contracts and Defender to Arbitrum Stylus, on top of our commitment to provide top-notch security services to builders within the ecosystem. Now, I just want to go ahead and say that Open Zeppelin is essentially, for those of you who aren't familiar, kind of like the way I kind of view it is like a library of standardized smart contracts that developers or anyone wanting to deploy smart contracts can use. So for example, let's say you want to create a token, a regular ERC20 token. Where do you find that smart contract, right? You could technically make it yourself, but 2024, it does not make sense for you to reinvent the wheel per se, right? There's already tons of trusted standards that exist, and Open Zeppelin happens to have a library of standardized smart contracts that are battle tested, safe, and that work. So essentially, this partnership, my takeaway from it is that they're essentially going to be doing the same thing, but with Arbitrum Stylus, meaning that not only will you have, for example, smart contracts to deploy tokens in Solidity, but you'll have those same smart contracts for developers to deploy in Rust. In this case, I think that's exactly what they say here. It says ERC20, ERC721, and ERC1155 will be some of the essential token standards that will also be included in their Stylus contract libraries. So very, very exciting stuff. I'm not sure if this is available right now, but if you are interested and you're a developer learning more about Stylus, you can actually go to this awesome Stylus list right here, which is at the end of their thread, and see all the kind of resources for building on Stylus and any other examples that other developers have already created. Stylus, like I said, you guys already know, very, very bullish on it. Very excited to see that kind of hit mainnet at some point, hopefully this year. But Open Zeppelin kind of partnering with the foundation, the Arbitrum Foundation, to create these standards for for Stylus contracts, I think is such a great win, and it's really important, I think, for creating a long-lasting ecosystem. More than incentives, more than anything else, I think just creating safe, reusable templates, pretty much like a good platform for developers to kind of build off of. That's the most important thing in my mind. So yeah, shout out to Open Zeppelin and the foundation for making this happen. We have a tweet here by Proof of Play. Oh, this is also a very exciting one. Introducing Proof of Play's multi-chain, an ultra-fast constellation of blockchains built on Arbitrum Orbit and paired with a proprietary on-chain game engine. The multi-chain is optimized to serve real-time, fully on-chain gameplay and internet-scale decentralized applications. For those of you who don't know, Proof of Play is the same team that has built Pirate Nation. It's a fully on-chain game that currently lives on Arbitrum Nova, and it's by the same team, by the same founder, or even I should say, that built Farmville on Facebook way back when. I wanted to highlight one of the points here. Where is it? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Here we go. In designing the Proof of Play multi-chain, we've optimized for speed, best-in-class, averaging at less than 250 milliseconds for a transaction, which I think can scale down to 100 milliseconds per transaction. In this case, we're talking about the Arbitrum Orbit chain that they're going to be using. Scalability, which is this is my favorite one, and scalability, which is the capability of reaching internet scale 100 million plus players. I think this is probably one of the reasons why I am so bullish on Proof of Play, so bullish on Pirate Nation. I played Pirate Nation before personally, and it's extremely addicting. To say the least, it's extremely addicting. That's why I've had to kind of stop playing it recently, because otherwise I won't get any work done. Because it functions like a proper game, and all of the blockchain stuff is obfuscated to the backend. And this is why when they say capable of reaching internet scale 100 million players, that's what we mean. It's not only the technology that it's built on, necessarily like the sheer speed and safety that Arbitrum technology provides, but it's also the fact that this is a team that knows like what the player wants. They know what to obfuscate, when to obfuscate it, and at the same time give that same player the ability to go deeper if they want to. For example, when you are playing Pirate Nation, a game like I mentioned that they built, when you craft an item or when you buy something, or for example in game, it just says in the top left or top right, like kind of like an action bar, and it says, hey, like you've crafted this item, and like there's like a three kind of 4-letter transaction little thing there that you can click on if you want to. You don't have to, right? If you click on it, it leads you to the Nova Explorer and shows you the transaction that actually happened. You're not approving anything. You're not like sending any transactions, you're not touching a wallet, nothing. It's literally just everything is in game, but all those in game things kind of are obfuscated with account abstraction, of course, on the back end, which is why I think when they say capable of reaching internet scale 100 million players, I don't think they're joking. Like, I truly believe that they can actually do this. Very excited for the proof, for the multi-chain that they call it, and really excited to see kind of, pirate nations, pretty much a pirate nation chain. I guess that'll be technically the first one, but they could call it a multi-chain because I think they do plan on having multiple different chains. We have a tweet here by Wesley. I'm not even sure where Wesley... Oh, I guess he does events at the Ethereum Foundation. That's great. Shout out to Wesley. He's talking here. He tweets out 4844 blob readiness. By the way, this is in relation to EIP 4844 that I spoke about. I want to say in my last video or the video before that. Essentially, a new update kind of coming to Ethereum, but also technically to layer 2s as well, that allow for gas cost to be, I want to say the average price we're looking at for almost any rollup is around the 30 to 50% mark. I could 100% be wrong on that, but what I will say is it's not going to be like the 90 to 100% decrease that I think a lot of people are trying to say right now. So it's a little bit of an over exaggeration, I think, for that, but it's going to be a very, very big cost reduction nonetheless. And Wesley here has a list of teams that will be ready, or chains, I should say, that will be ready, for the actual, 4844 when it's live on mainnet. There's Arbitrum, ZK Sync, and StarkNet will be ready day one immediately. It seems like a few days after or soon, it will be Optimism based and any Optimism chains. And then, of course, not ready yet or TBD will be Scroll. And I think there's a couple of other ones here as well that they mentioned. And for what it's worth, ArboS 20 Atlas, which I definitely mentioned on one of the last videos, is, in this case, what we're talking about when we're saying that Arbitrum will be ready day one for Dencun, aka EIP 4844. Just one of the updates that'll be involved in Dencun. But I think there's another team here that said it here. So Scroll says early April. Fuel Network will have it at launch, and Tycho will be shortly after as well. But yeah, shout out to Wesley on that one. I don't even know why I read the other ones, because this is an Arbitrum update. It's fine, though. It's fine. Oh, this is an exciting update, too. I realized I talked about this a lot, but I never actually got the chance to, talk about the result of it. Ape Chain. So if you've seen any of the last videos that I've done, I've talked about Ape Chain multiple times because there was previously a vote that the ApeCoin community had, in which they were choosing the chains and partners that they'd be launching their Ape Chain on, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, essentially, right? In this case, it was between Arbitrum, Horizon Labs, Polygon, I think it was they were by themselves, ZK Sync, I think, was by themselves, and then there was Optimism and the A team. Arbitrum won, I think Polygon was second, and I think it was Optimism and then ZK Sync. And here I have a tweet by Yuga Labs congratulating both Horizon, Arbitrum, and Offchain Labs for winning the community vote. Yuga Labs, as they say, like many other developers in the Ape ecosystem, is excited about what it can build on Ape Chain. Now, this is a very, very big point, very big post here, actually, I should say. And the reason is because I will start by saying that I don't have the complete context on how the Ape ecosystem has been the past year or 2 years. I have had an ape before, mutant ape, I should say. I have had multiple mutant apes before, back when they were worth nothing, relatively nothing. So I haven't, I can't say that I understand the context of everything completely. But from my understanding, Yuga Labs has kind of been silent on the Ape Chain front for a long time. Ever since they essentially announced that apes needed their own chain, they've been kind of silent about the actual creation of it. There's speculation on why that may be, but nonetheless, they haven't said anything about it, right? And the community has been a little bit riled up about the fact that like Yuga Labs, the one that created essentially everything in the ape ecosystem, isn't saying anything about it. So them coming out and actually congratulating the community on this winning vote for Ape Chain to be built on Arbitrum is kind of a big deal, and them actually saying that they're very excited to see what they can build on the Ape Chain as well is kind of just a confirmation that Yuga Labs is excited that there's going to be an Ape Chain and seems to be relatively committed to actually building on top of it as well. So huge stuff. Essentially, it's kind of like, a sign of acceptance by Yuga Labs for having an Ape Chain, generally speaking, even though the ask them, even though them saying they wanted an ape chain was so long ago. I think it was about like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So yeah, that was huge news. This was a little while ago too. This was literally the day I left, actually 10 days ago. So I realize most of you probably saw this already. That's why I kind of left it kind of near the end of this video here. But anyways, very exciting news. And maybe I'll get another ape. Honestly, probably not. They're a little expensive. But I'm more than happy to get like I don't know, some ape merch or something. I don't know. All right, we have a tweet here by New Here Minting Now. New Here says, together with Arbitrum, we're building a whole new world of experiences in anticipation of the New Here feature film, starting with glimpses.art. I'm going to read through this one a little bit just because it's a little complex. Glimpses.art is the beginning of a new interactive media experience powered by blockchain technology and collectorship. A glimpse is an evolving artwork that will shift over time as you interact with New Here media. Glimpses are free to claim and exclusively available for mint on Zora. So my understanding, for what it's worth, is these are essentially free to mint NFTs. We'll click on the link real quick. Hopefully I don't get rugged. You can essentially mint all of them on Zora. There's actually quite a bit of them now, which is pretty cool. And my understanding is that they actually evolve as videos or media comes out from this group of individuals. So essentially, my understanding is that these NFTs that you're claiming do actually evolve over time as this studio releases art or releases videos or media, I should say. I don't know exactly in practice how that works, as in like if they release like a new video, that all the NFTs that you mint will actually change. But I'm always happy and down for a free mint on Arbitrum, obviously minus the gas fees. So, why not? If you're interested in NFTs and you kind of, you like art, media, production, whatnot, then feel free to mint it over here. I guess, as usual, again, link is in the description. So you are more than welcome to go here and take a look. But it looks like it was a pretty big deal. Actually, this was sent out yesterday. So still relatively new news, I should say. So I'll probably look at minting that pretty soon. In relation to media art, we have Transient Labs. Transient Labs says, excited to announce our partnership with Arbitrum. Together, we're propelling the art world forward on the blockchain. Thanks to our allies Floor, Roger Dickerman, and Digital Dreams for joining us on this journey. #ArtOnArb. This is a pretty cool one. So I don't have the complete details on this, but in a nutshell, Transient Labs, one of the companies that has been very, very big in launching art collections and partnering with very big people in Web 2 and even just broader society, such as like people like Snoop Dogg. I think I remember them partnering with. They're essentially collaborating officially with the Arbitrum Foundation to launch I want to say it's an art grant program, essentially. I was reading it earlier here. Here we go. We will provide an initial grant to support creators in this endeavor to cover minting and inscription expenses, fostering ease of entry and enhanced visibility for their digital art archives. It's essentially going to be an entire campaign, and I think a couple of other things actually. It's like literally a couple of I think the collections they're launching as well as grants they're giving out for buildings within the Arbitrum ecosystem. So very exciting things. Definitely, if you're an artist, make sure to take a look at this announcement, read it in full. I'm kind of just blowing through things here because I think we're literally at 18 minutes. This is crazy. Okay, I gotta keep going. Let's keep going. I wanted to throw this one in just because I thought it was interesting, but we are gonna end off on this one. We have a tweet here by Social Network. Social Network unites Bitcoin and Ethereum using Arbitrum's world-class battle-tested Layer 2 roller technology. 10% of Social Network sequencer profits will help keep Arbitrum open source and free for everyone to innovate on. The future looks decentralized. I want to go ahead and actually point out that I think this is so their description essentially is that they're a first Bitcoin staking Layer 2, of course built using Arbitrum technology. So my understanding is that you'll be able to essentially stake Bitcoin on this network. Now I'm not speaking to the legitimacy, I'm not recommending or any of that. Again, nothing of this is financial advice or anything like that. Just please keep that in mind. But I find it interesting, and I think more than anything, I want to point out that these guys, because they're going to be a Layer 2 on Ethereum, they're actually going to be giving 10% of their transaction sequencer revenue back to the DAO. And I want to say that technically 8% goes back to the DAO and 2% goes towards a developer collective, that it will be essentially money that's going to be reserved for teams developing on Arbitrum technology. So really, really exciting stuff. I think this is one of the first teams that's actually announced this, like, and kind of openly, very happily said, yeah, like we're happy to be giving 10% back to the DAO, to the open Arbitrum community. So definitely very, very exciting stuff there. Just wanted to point that out because I thought that was kind of cool. I think that came out, yeah, like the 16th, so about 8 days ago. So I know I'm late. I'm sorry. I was away. But guys, as usual, we're gonna end it off with the Beneath the Layers shill. As you guys know, Beneath the Layers is a community-focused show dedicated to showcasing entrepreneurs in Web3 and telling their stories. Hosted by a boy. We haven't had an actual, I want to say, a live stream in a little while. I'm actually going to be recording one pretty soon, so you may see one posted most likely after ETHDenver because I'm going to be there for about like 9 or 8 days. But nonetheless, if you're interested in crypto-related content, entrepreneur-related content, definitely take a look at this podcast. It's on Spotify, YouTube, X, all those different great platforms that you listen to maybe any other your podcasts on. But that being said, guys, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very excited to get back into making some videos. Like I said, I will be in Denver, so make sure to say hi to me if you see me walking around. And yeah, we'll still have these kind of videos. I'll still be trying to put these out every day for the most part. They'll look a little different because I'm not going to be at home, but we'll see what we can do. That being said, as usual, guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.